the verdict came in on Hunter Biden, and he was found guilty in all 3 counts. And I don't know if people were celebrating or what. I think this is a, as I said to Stu, this is comparing the Donald Trump trial to this one is comparing apples to eggs. They're completely different. They both don't come from a tree. One is from a really rooted tree, the Donald Trump trial, and this one I think just comes from the butt of a chicken. The Hunter Biden trial, first of all, only happened after the FBI did everything they could to make this go away. Then, what do? They take on the least important one. Now, I am all for the rule of law, obviously. I am a responsible gun owner. You don't lie on your form when you're doing a background check. You don't lie. I would go to jail. You would go to jail. Hunter Biden should go to jail. I don't know what the usual is on jail time for this. I know that I think it says on the form, I couldn't find it yesterday, but I think it says something like, a 20-year prison sentence or 25-year prison sentence for lying under oath, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know what the usual is for a first-time offender. But he should get it. Now, there's the constitutional part, and I can't believe this because I think the left thinks they're going to win because this is going to go to trial, to the Supreme Court perhaps, and it's going to become a gun question, a gun rights question. And if he wins that, then the right will get exactly what we want, more rights, less regulation. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, but you'll lose him not going to jail. Yeah, but he's going to jail for the worst thing out of all this stuff he did. This is like the preschool stuff. What are you talking about? There's 170 crimes that he has been implicated in. 170. When he was in Arizona, he was on his way to rehab. He dropped off his car at the rental facility near the airport where he accidentally left personal ID and a crack pipe, and a bag of cocaine in the car, and nothing was done. I don't know. That's kind of a big deal. A woman who's currently in jail in Connecticut for other crimes apparently arranged a meeting with Hunter to bring him crack cocaine later that month, according to Hunter's text, which, by the way, all the evidence that was used in this trial all came from the laptop. So I'd like an apology from the mainstream media that there was nothing there, nothing credible, that was, totally hyped up, that was Russian disinformation. I'd like an apology because apparently the court system found that it was okay to look at and was credible. Later that month, the text on his laptop showed that he was not only consuming drugs, but trafficking them, as well as arranging sex with women. The sex crimes in Connecticut are, let's just say, wow. It would take drug-fueled... I don't know how he performs. Anyway, he solicited women for sex, one after another, as they would leave his room. Then he solicited more prostitutes. The next day, he solicited a third prostitute, but he didn't stop there. He continued to solicit prostitutes throughout his time in Connecticut, even recording a video of him having sex with a prostitute and smoking crack. The money transfers reveal thousands of dollars paid to these prostitutes. And is prostitution, is doing all of this, is this legal in Connecticut? Are you cool with that? By the way, he took his crimes to Delaware, where he was doing drug deals, one with a registered sex offender, and smoked crack with them. Hunter made sure that his crack use was on camera. Again, he was caught naked doing drugs at a public spa. He then bought the gun, lied about his drug use, and continued to have more funds with prostitutes. In Florida, when Hunter sent money to a Ukrainian escort, the transfer was flagged by J.P. Morgan as possible human trafficking. Okay. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. Okay? I'm just gonna leave you with the note from J.P. Morgan. There were 170 times banks sent out a yellow flag to the federal government saying there's something wrong here. This is human trafficking. This is money laundering. But there's something wrong. 170 times. That's the crime here. That's the crime. And what they're trying to do is they only prosecuted when they absolutely had no other choice. They couldn't do anything else. I think justice was served. We'll see what the sentencing is. But this is not the thing to prosecute him on. This is the thing to prosecute him and then say, oh, come on, he's going to jail. He's doing his time. And see, he was convicted of a felony. So is Donald Trump. In fact, the health of our republic has never been stronger. Because look, Donald Trump, he was president. He's probably going to jail. And the first time ever, the son of a president is also going to jail on a felony. That's not good for the health of the republic in the first place. It shows, if both of those were true, shows that we have a real problem with the people in leadership. But both of them aren't true. Again, apples and eggs. This one was prosecuted only when they couldn't get away with everything they were trying to do to get away with sweeping this under the rug. So then they prosecuted him. He was convicted by a jury of his peers. The one up in New York, every possible thing, every dirty trick, every twist of the law, even to the point of making up a law where the federal government said, no, that's not a violation of the law, but then they took it to a state court and said, yes, that is against the law, but it would be a federal crime, and so state courts have no jurisdiction. I mean, they did things that have never, ever been done before. I think Alan Dershowitz was right when he said the best thing that could happen is that Hunter Biden could be set free. That Hunter Biden would be found not guilty, he said, because then at least people would start to realize that we are the laughingstock of the world. Our justice system, which used to be the most admired, is now the laughingstock of the world. I mean, how do you go for him with this gun charge when we know what he did with Ukrainian and Chinese patrons? He was soliciting money. He never registered as a foreign agent. He avoided all oversight and regulation that comes with that. They're completely ignoring the, hey, hold back 10% for the big guy, when under oath, several witnesses have said the big guy was Joe Biden. I mean, they raked in millions of dollars selling our country out. I don't know. I think that's a bigger crime myself. Jesse James, he wasn't wanted for jaywalking. I'm just saying. Bonnie and Clyde, when they were at the bank, they wrote the note that said, give us all your money. And they took the pen along with them. Can we get them on the pen thing? Am I wrong on this, Stu? Is this how you see this whole thing?
Well, they did take the pen. I mean, you can, just like in this case.
They did take the pen.
Yes, the pen was taken.
The pen.
I find it, yes, I think it's interesting. I mean, it's the least, as we said before the verdict even came out, it's the least interesting of all the things against Hunter Biden. There's a constitutional amendment against, or a constitutional argument against this even being a crime in the first place. But, I mean, in theory, he should still go to prison. The sentencing guidelines for this crime are 15 to 21 months. So from 2019 to 2023, just 52 defendants were sentenced in a similar category as Hunter Biden, but 92% of them were sentenced to serve prison time. Median prison term of 15 months. Only 8% of people in that category received probation or a fine. So he should,
So
in theory,
I would
get
like to
something.
see him to go to jail for 18 months. That's fine. Go to jail for 18 months. And you know why I say this? Not only do I want the fair, I don't want the judge to take into consideration anything else other than the crime they've just convicted him for. And if the average is 18 months, then great. Give him 18 months, whatever. But Joe Biden, I believe, after the election, is going to pardon his son to get him, away from prison. He probably will serve maybe a month. He's not going to be sentenced until when? October?
I thought the sentencing
So he
coming up a
probably
little
wouldn't have
more than that, but that doesn't mean that he necessarily goes to prison. Like, for example, he also could
Right.
stay out while his appeal is pending, which would definitely push him
Correct.
past the election.
Right. And after the election, Joe Biden will, do what this dad has done that has made his son into the monster that he is. And that is pardon him, lessen the consequences, help him out because I really believe in you, son. At times, you just have to let them fall.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a normal parenting move. If you don't have a large international illegal business working with the guy that he's the kingpin of, like you need to have him covering for you every
on your
step
side
of the way.
Yeah.
So you really can't do the thing that a parent should do and let him fall.
Right.
You can't do that.
So yesterday, Joe Biden gave a speech about gun control, of all things.
And didn't mention. Incredible he doesn't mention this at all. He doesn't mention the Hunter thing at all while he's pushing for these new restrictive laws. Incredible.
Right. So, but again, in this, he talks about, well, let me give you a couple. Here's the gun sense speech, cut 4.
You can't be pro-law enforcement and say you are pro-law enforcement and be pro-abolishing the AFT.
Now, I don't know what the AFT is. Do you know what the AFT? I know what the ATF is, but I don't know what the AFT is.
The American Federation of Teachers.
Oh, okay.
So
All
he
right.
was talking. I don't know why that was relevant per se to this, but that's what.
Yeah,
he brought
but
up.
he went through. Cut 6, please.
By the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle.
Oh God. I first of all, it's hard to understand anything that he says, but secondly, that is the dumbest point in the world.
Oh my gosh! Tell that to the people that are now running Afghanistan. And if anybody should have learned that lesson, it would be Joe Biden. I don't know. They didn't have F-15s. They seem to do pretty well.
They also weren't nearly as well armed as the American people are.
No.
Right? Like that. This was
they're not.
They were able to do that against the world's most powerful military because of one terrible leader who happened to be the commander in chief.
Right. Let me go to Biden here one more time. Play that. You'd need F-15s. Play it again.
By the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle.
It's so stupid.
Is he the Biden? Have we mixed this up? Is he the Biden that is on crack?
I don't know if that crack makes you like that lethargic, though. I again, never having done it myself. I mean, maybe as an experiment, just for the show, I'll do some. But
just for the show,
just
you should
understand,
right. But let's try to actually one more time. Try to understand what he is actually saying there. Go ahead.
By the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about. Well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle.
I don't know what he said. I have no idea what he said.
I think he said,
I have no idea.
If you want to take on government, and then he says something like an aside where he says, and they're talking about all doing that again. So he's trying to basically say that they're
Who's talking about that?
Oh, it's a huge piece of conversation.
This is happening daily.
A lot of people online
Daily,
talking about
let's
that.
take on the government.
And then you got to have F-15s. But again, like this is so specifically designed to say, like, oh well, you're just, they want that picture, right? Like you look down your driveway and tanks are rolling up, and all you have is your AR-15, and it's like, well, again, like I guess there is a scenario where they could defeat every American by just nuking every city, but like, what is the use of governing over such a society after it's a nuclear wasteland? Like, yeah,
right.
The whole point.
We won.
Yeah, we won.
Hang
we
on,
did
my
it.
ear fell off.
I mean, this is over and over and over again. We've seen people with small arms be able to repel large. It's really hard to go door to door and overwhelm a well-armed population. Really freaking difficult to do it.
Yeah.
We found it very difficult.
Yep.
The Land War in Asia line from Princess Bride was specifically designed to remind you of this
War
scenario.
in Asia.
But only slightly less well known.